Hello guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today we are going to learn about how to create a preference activity, a setting activity for your application. So I would show you the demonstration first, that what are we trying to achieve by learning this tutorial. So this is the preference activity, very simple. This is the menu, and here if you enable this switch button, then it changes your color or theme of the screen, and if you disable it, then it changes it back. And also similarly with orientation, if you and then it works like this. And if you go back, and in old I think I have heard that in old emulators you cannot rotate your screen, so I don't know if it will work or not in that, but this is the latest Android Studios tutorial version and also the emulator. So yeah, and this is like the edit text preference, so I can change it to something today. For some reason I can't type. My emulator is hanging. Yeah, so let's say this is the new value that we have uploaded in the text edit text. So when we click OK, the activity exits and takes us back to the main activity, and where we will see a toast message here of our new value that was updated. Like there are several other tutorials on the YouTube, but some of them are showing you, yeah, maybe my app is like yeah, it's like hanging so much, so I'll close it. So what I was saying is that there are other tutorials on YouTube, but what happens is that once you change the values here, you have to restart your app in order to access them. But here, within staying the app, you don't have to relaunch your app, and the values are being updated. So this is a better way, because let's say you are on WhatsApp and you change your status, and how bad it is if you have to restart your app in order to see your new status. You have to see your status immediately when you have made the change while staying in the app. So here what I was showing you with my app in this preference activity, that it works as I'm saying, that like I make the change and I don't have to exit the app, I stay in the app and like the change is implemented. So let's get right to it, and I would just kill this app because we don't need this. And yeah, I will not focus on design so much. We will just pref app. Yeah, and as soon as I learn about how do we implement notification and something, because I haven't learned that yet, then I would also add that and make another big tutorial on preferences. Preferences, shared preferences, you can use to store values, the primitive data types, like the short data, like let's say password, email, status, yes or no, something like that. But if you need bigger values, uh, such as like a big text or a message, then you would use like SQLite database, or you can use Firebase, that I have put like 3-4 tutorials about it, and which is like really awesome tutorials that I have done. Even for the beginners you can do it. Yeah, then you need like a big database to handle it. But if it's just like a small data, then you need shared preferences and today we will work with that. So first and foremost, you'll go to res, right click and create a folder, XML, and here I'll name it XML. Okay, I'll name it prefs, and here we go. So real quick, we will take, some people choose to create a setting activity from here, which is fine, but this is more like a tailored custom made stuff if you go this way. So preference category, maybe you can just go to the design and groups, preference category, I'll drag it here and we'll change the name. So we can name it appearance. And what do we need in there? We need a switch preference. The value would be, I wouldn't take a value, I would set the value in the code. So also Android text, I think title maybe, enable dark mode, and since I'm not applying dark mode, like I'm just using different color, I'll just say change theme. And summary, I can add, change the color of your app for better viewing experience. Okay, and I would make it text style bold. Perfect. I would give it a key, which is very important. These 4 attributes are very important. I mean, you don't need summary, but just to make it beautiful, key would be change color. Okay, perfect. And I would take another switch preference because I want to work with the orientation also. So I would say change to landscape. Now you see this, we are not applying any kind of relative layout. Yeah, this I cannot zoom, but I would show you once I am like running this code. Yeah, here I don't need a relative layout or something. It is automatically placing all the views like properly in a very nice and effective way. Change orientation to landscape. Okay, perfect. I would change the summary and the key is going to be change orientation. Perfect. We can take one more preference here, like we will take another category, because category just represents the like separate section that you can have. Here I will talk about profile, and we'll take an edit text preference. There are so many preferences like checkbox preferences. If you open your Android or iPhone phone, you will see well, mostly in iPhone it's just like the switch button, but in Android it's like check marks or like edit texts and all that, you know. So yeah, it also depends on application, like, you know, no matter on Android or on iPhone, what application you are using and what preferences the developer have used, but probably these are like one of the commons. So the key for this is going to be status text is not text, title. is going to be change status. Actually no, here it's going to be dialog message, change how's your mood, because once we click on this there is an edit text that opens. How's your mood? And we'll take dialog title, change update status, and I would add a hint here. What's up? And I would what else I would do? Okay, I think that's it for now, and that's pretty much it. And what I'll do is, like, now I have the keys, I would, okay, some sort of error. It's giving me some sort of error here. Okay, yeah, I had to close this tag. Oh, wow. Okay, perfect. Okay, we'll go to our like, we can create an activity and just disable the layout file. We can name it settings activity, and here instead of extending it to app compat, we will extend it preference activity. Let it load a little bit, I am a bit impatient. So preference activity. Okay, now here we will, some people choose to create a separate class here and extend it to fragment. I'm just going to do it here. It's the same thing. My preferences, extend preference fragment. Okay, and here get fragment manager, begin transaction, replace Android excuse me guys, I think here I have missed something. Android r.content. We'll just Google it. Android r.content. Okay, now this is the name of your fragment, so you would just pass it here. My preferences comment. Yep. So what happened here actually is, and wait, on create, add add preferences from resource r.xml prefs. Okay, perfect. Now what is happening here is this onCreate does not have the XML, but this onCreate has a fragment, and the fragment onCreate is having that layout that would bring the activity, bring that XML layout of prefs into this activity. Okay, so we will quickly create a button from the main activity menu that takes us to this setting activity. So let's just go to settings, like we can take an image here and I can just color it a little bit different. Okay, go on. Okay, perfect. We'll go to main activity. Here same old methods to on create options menu, on options item selected. I used to memorize this, but if you write a little bit it just comes out automatically, so yeah, be wise. I spent a lot of time like remembering this. Okay, menu. Okay, create a menu file, main menu, item, title, settings, show as action always, icon, add drawable baseline settings, and ID real quick settings. So once we click this settings icon, it should take us to setting activity where we have inserted the fragment of our, and fragment has the layout of our setting activity or preference activity. Okay, we'll go to main activity, simple code, get menu inflator. I have done this like probably like more than 10 times so in the video, so you should know it by now if you watch my videos. And please take a look at my GitHub, like all the codes I have kept there. You can download it, it's for free. Okay, what we are doing here is if item.getItemID is equals to r.settings, okay, and here what we're going to do is yeah, if the item ID is equal to settings, then start activity, new intent, main activity, and just settings activity. So I would run the app real quick so we get to take a look first, and meanwhile it's running I would just go to, yeah, just delete it. Yeah, so there is like a separate yeah, there is like a separate way to like really work with color, and there are so many other things that go into it, but I'm just telling you how to change the color. Like there is like a lot of different stuff that goes into it, like you can set the color for text and also for the action bar, but I'm just like doing a small tutorial, so I'll go to, but I'm just telling you the method, so after that if you want to make your UI look beautiful, then yeah, it's up to you, like how do you add so many colors. Okay, so Well, we can just take these colors. Yeah, I'm creating a new theme. Where is it? Android Studio. Okay, we'll change it to something else. And lastly, let's take some other color. Okay, for the color accent. Oh, it looks a little bit like same. So I should get another one. So I don't care when I'm with my baby at. All the bad things disappear. Okay, so I can name it new theme, and I can name the old theme just to make a distinction. And I would go here, when the app starts it should start with old theme, obviously, or default theme. Okay, our themes are ready, and I think hopefully our app is up and running. Okay, pref app, you click here, you are already in this activity. Yeah, and once you click on that, it shows you that how's your mood and what's up, and yeah, we can change it. And now nothing is happening because we will work with that. Okay, so now let's get to the real deal, which is our setting activity. Now here what is happening is like we are taking shared preferences, and switch preference, switch like color switch, we can name this, and one more we can take, uh, orientation switch, and edit text preference. Okay, first of all we will what we'll do is here that we'll work with colors, set on preference change listener, because here if I simply, like, there is another way to do this. If I simply, like, add the value on this switch button, then like we would have to exit the app to in order to, like, I'll just show you like an example. That way I don't like doing it, but I'm just going to show it to you. Preference manager. Okay, get context. So let's say I'm doing this, and like we don't have to write much code, and I would just do this get boolean, and the key that I have given over there is change color, and I would like do this, and then I would call this in main activity. So whenever app launches, our button will be turned on. But that's not how I want it, because that's not the right way, because like you have to update the values while you're within app. Okay, I mean that's just my preference. uh, if you are fine with like values not being updated right away, then you can like follow the other tutorial, or just do what I have just undo here. Okay, well, we are here, and get con, yeah, should be fine. Okay, so this is like whenever there is a change on color switch, like when it's turned on or turned off, what should happen? It should listen to the changes, right? So since we are working with the boolean value, because it's true and false, so we'll take boolean value, boolean, new value, and what we are going to do is, if value we'll just change it to is checked, then what do we want, like what do we want it to happen, like we want it to enable color change, else if is not checked, then we want disable color change. Okay, my preference, I'll just create these helper methods. Okay, and now what will happen is, okay, so shared preferences, because there are no values in it, so what I'll do is I will shared preferences, just give me a second, guys. So what I'll do here is shared preference dot editor, because we are editing values in the, we are entering the values in our preferences, and here shared preferences dot edit, and editing set, sorry, put boolean, what was the key, color change true. Now we will apply this change, apply, that's it, and this is we're going to copy paste in here, orientation, change orientation. I think if the key is very important, like oh sorry, this is like same color change but false, and then like let me just make sure if I'm getting the right key, change color change orientation. Okay, change color change orientation. Similar to this, what I'll do is I'll create I'll get the, first of all I have to color switch preference, find preference. It's just like a view casting, color change, just like you take a view and then you find view by ID and then you have to do this. And now our second one is orientation switch preference again, switch preference, where is that? Okay, perfect, orientation change, change orientation, I was entering the wrong key. And another preference, our last one is edit text preference. What was the key of it? I think status, I gave it the key. Okay, so now it's perfect. Now what is going to happen is the second orientation switch, same step, set on preference change listener, on preference change listener. Okay, return true, boolean is checked, boolean new value. Okay, yeah, same steps, if is checked, change to landscape, else if is not checked, change to portrait. Let's create these helper methods. So I don't care When am I with my baby at? Okay, so we are here now, and yeah, what is going to happen is we'll just take this one. So now orientation change, the key is change orientation. And yeah, false, true. Okay, perfect. Now what happens is, like, once these changes are made, we have to, like, go back to our main activity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an intent here, intent, new intent, get activity, because we are using fragment. If it, I mean, this class is we have extended with fragment. If it was an activity, then you should just use activity name dot this, and it should take us to main activity dot class. Yeah, this is so cool, like we should use this. Yeah, so cool. So this deals with the memories or stuff. Yeah, perfect. Okay, lovely. What we'll do is intent set flags. Intent. Okay, then we start the activity. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just get this and I'll add it to all the places where I need it. Okay, lastly what I'll do is I will go to this one, edit tech preferences, set on preference change listener. Again, now our value is string, because in edit text we are entering a text, right? So this is a string, not the boolean. So we will not take here, object is like it can be any data type, right? So what I'll do here is string text string new value and return true first of all, and if text equals something, then what happens? Then upload text and pass the intent. Yeah, that's it. So what I'll do is I'll just create this method. Okay, here same thing. So what we had is status. I would just pass some text. Oh, sorry, it's put string. Okay, now our values, like our main work is done, but we just have to access these values. So what I would do is, like, before I do a test run, once we come here in our main activity, I want to, like, see if there are changes that we made are successful. Shared preferences, just to test it. Shared preference, and I would take some string color change, string orientation change, string edit text message. So what I'll do is first of all I would initialize our preferences manager pref get default. Now here we'll pass get base context. Okay, now what I'll do is shared preferences get boolean. What was the key? Change color. The value we can write default like true, and string to value of boolean. Same thing here, because I want to show you that after I have made the change, the values are being updated, and then we will do, okay, if the value is true, then what should happen? If the value is false, then what should happen? So edit text is going to be shared preferences. Oh, get string status, and it should have it will have some string. Okay, I will run this app. Wait, just I would add a toast message. Color change. Color change is going to be let's add in here color change. So yeah, yeah, just guys give me a second. Okay guys, yeah, so yeah, we are adding the values here, and right now okay, let's just create another toast. We have 3, so okay, orientation change, and edit text. Sorry guys. Okay, so let's just run the app and see if our values are being displayed. But one mistake that I have done here is edit text will not work, because edit text it had to come out, the intent had to be written out of this method. So I'll just go and yeah, and one more thing I forgot to add is input type. text single line true. I should probably run the app again because what I was trying to achieve, I had missed something. Okay, so I would like actually, yeah, now I can, like, see the Gradle. So let the app run. Okay, so it's showing that color change, orientation change is false, text is text. So what is happening here is that I haven't made any change. Okay, it crashed for some reason. Let's see, why did it crash? The setting activity, it has to do with something in the main activity that, like, yeah, I hate this emulator, very slow. So let's see here, what is the error. I want to, like, catch the error, that why it's crashing here. Some issue. Why can't I see something here? Okay, yeah, attempt to invoke on a null. Yeah, it's setting activity, attempt to invoke virtual method on a null object reference. Okay, yeah, here is some yeah, where is giving that error. Color switch. Let me just check the keys one more time. Change color, change orientation. Setting activity. Okay, guys. Attempt to invoke. Okay. Method, null object reference. Editor. Why is it giving an error? Let me just figure it out, and then I'll tell you what is happening here. I think I should take this in that, or we can check here. Just a short little problem. Okay. Maybe it has to do with some casting of preference, or Yeah, so in each I had to take this also in each method. That is why it was giving me an error. I think it will be resolved. Yeah. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, let's try. Maybe it will work now. Okay, the error has not been resolved. Still the same error. Set on a null object reference. Color switch. Color switch. Hmm. Well, it should work, but somehow it's giving an error. Maybe I have made a mistake somewhere. I should just close this one and we'll see. That would clean my project also. Get boolean, put boolean, put boolean. Put boolean, put boolean. Okay, let's just disable this method that is problematic, which I think it's not, but oh, wow. Let's try now. Yeah, there is. The only problem lies with the. Okay, so let's just change the. So now it is going to give me orientation change true. And if I change the edit text, there is something wrong with the theme button which I will look at later, but app is running fine. So let's say I change it ha 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 to this status. I'll click OK. It should take me to main activity. Yeah, and it took me as expected and true. He. Okay, yeah, this is here. Okay, so as for this one, only problem is here. and I would see why it is giving me an error. So our code is working as expected, but the problem lies with one of our preferences, and we have to figure it out, like why is it that. So I would remove these tags to enable the code here. Boolean is checked. Okay, on preference change listener, orientation switch. This is working fine, even when we have applied the same method. Just with the color it's messing a little bit. Okay, it's changed color, sorry. See, it's like such a little problem, but it's change color, not color change. And I would see in main activity change color. Yeah, this was the issue, guys. I was mapping the wrong uh, ID. Oh, sorry, the key. So far so good, and like, yeah, this is how we are fetching the values from our preferences, and we are sharing the values, and even if you exit the app it will remember the value, like I would try it right now. So yeah, I would like change it. Okay, this I can turn. Okay, turned on, and this is also turned on. So now remember, these are two turned on, and when we exit the app and when we come back it should remain on turned on. That's the whole goal of because once you enable notification in your app, you don't have to go every time to enable notifications. It's just there because you have stored true value in the key, right? So if it's working fine, then it should have those already on. It's on, right? And now I will turn it off. So if it's turned off, then once we come back in here, it should be on turned off. It cannot be on the turned on. If it is, that means the value is not being stored. So real quick now, like towards the last part of the tutorial, I would just apply the theme. If this is the value, then this should happen. If that is the value, then that should happen. Those conditional things. So now for the last check, it has to be on the false. Our switches cannot be turned on. Perfect, right? It's perfect. So we'll just leave it there. Now, uh, what is happening? Okay, yeah. So I would just delete all this. Actually, no. I would take it here, and now I will work. If shared preferences get boolean change color is true, then set theme r styles new theme, else set theme and old theme. Okay, now if shared preferences get boolean change orientation is true, set requested orientation activity what is it, set requested. Yeah, I would take a method from here. Can't memorize it. Set requested activity info. Okay. So like you can do it several ways, but this is just a very small and like robust kind of a code snippet that helps you to control the orientation. Else here you will write portrait. Okay, and if shared preferences get string, where is the main menu or main activity? So I can name here show status. Okay, so this is a hello world text, but once the text is updated, it should show us our latest status. And I would cast the views here. Status, find view by ID, status, show status. Okay, if preferences key is status and text, whatever the key is, here what is going to happen is shared preferences, let's just do this, status, set text, shared preferences, get string, status, text. Okay, and what I'll do here is I will take this code. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road, and then I would just go in here in setting activity. Now this is helping us to display this layout of preferences. So not only do we want to change the theme and orientation of our main activity, but we want to change it everywhere in our code, so shared preferences, okay, and here so okay, that's pretty much, I think this tutorial is done for good. Let me run the app again and we would see some success. And the code to the similar project to this, okay, so that was the old value that I had set in edit text, right? Oh yeah, so that is why. Okay, so change theme, it should change the color immediately. Oh, this is, yeah, okay, yeah, perfect, because the app is, I have rerun the app, so we'll wait for it. Sorry for my impatience. Yeah, I think the app is launched now already. You should clean your emulator from time to time because it helps you. Okay, so earlier I had changed the color, so you see it's showing me this. The color is changed and it has saved that preference that I had set. I would go to setting activity again. I would turn it off and we are back to normal. How cool is that? Orientation. Okay, there we are. It's working. Change it. And we can change the text. Success. Okay. See that? Okay guys, this tutorial was great and thanks for watching. If you have watched, please subscribe and DM me on Instagram. If you have any questions, then I would help you with that. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care guys. Bye.